Question: can you possibly believe that we are around 100 days close to Christmas? Can you believe it? Like, can you believe it? Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love, love, love to help people keep some of their hard-earned money. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Thanks so much for being here, Steve. This afternoon, Steve's so kind of stopped by the broadcast studio because we're going to have a little bit of a chit chat. Is it like not to be believed that we are really starting to inch up each day closer and closer to the holiday season? Can you believe it, Steve, that we're getting that close to the holiday season already?
No, because well, today, we're just let me see. We're only a couple, maybe 3 days away from the start of fall.
I know.
So, once that starts, then it's pretty much downhill from there. Then comes October, then my birthday, then the trick or treating and Halloween, and then Thanksgiving comes, then Christmas, and it's all pretty much like a domino effect.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. You know what, Steve? Honestly, everybody listening, here's how I feel. Once Steve's birthday comes, which happens to be October 31, which happens to be obviously Halloween, everybody remembers that date, right? Once literally, Steve, once your birthday comes, I feel like, that like that thing that people would jump on, we were kids, called a sliding pond. I'd be at the top of it, sliding all the way down, all the way from your birthday, and then we rapidly slide down into the holiday
Hmm.
season. It just goes so fast. Now, I'm not saying that Christmas is tomorrow, but in terms of saving, Steve, I think we really have a golden opportunity to keep a leg up. Steve, how familiar are you with the channel Journey with the Hintons? Have you ever seen this channel before?
I have. They're, as from what I can remember, they're a couple, and they're very, very descriptive, and they do put out some good content. I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 of their videos, but I mean, I've been pretty happy with the content that I saw from them.
Yeah, one of the first things I think about when I viewed the Hintons is that they are extremely positive people. But what I want to mention, Steve, is that about 1 year ago, literally on September 12th, 2021, that Monique, she made, they're a married couple. Monique made a video with a very interesting, kind of different from the way I do an envelope saving system. But the whole point is that to give people a heads up and another method of saving money before Christmas. And I've happened to find that video literally on something like September 10th. I
Hmm.
said, wait a minute, she's talking about September 12th of 2021. I'm 2 days away from September 12th of 2022. So what I did was I spoke about this wonderful channel and this wonderful method. I attached that video last week from a video that I created here. But the bottom line is, let's do something a little bit maybe less labor intensive, in my opinion, because the method there is out of sight, beautiful, absolutely. But sometimes for myself personally, I love that idea of all those different numbers on the envelopes and stuff, and it's going to work out. But for me, I don't know about you, Steve, but working in like with the same numeric increment, perhaps on a either daily basis or a weekly basis, seems to do the trick for me. Do you have any specific hint or tip or method that you may use or devise, for example, for the holiday season. Now, I know you have one for the whole year. Would you say that you could just continue on with the method that you use? And for those that don't know, Steve, what is your method of saving money after all of your bills are paid? What do you do?
Well, I've mentioned it a few times before, and I don't mind resharing it because I have reached out to, I know, about 4 or 5 people, and they're very glad that I introduced that method to them. All you're doing, you don't necessarily have to be on a fixed income, although I am. I get a set amount of money for the month, but anybody can do it. Once you pay your bills, you have the amount that you have, and then you go through your bills, and then whatever the total is down here that you have left. All right, you take that amount, divide it by how many amount of days it's going to be before you get paid again. It could be 10 days, it could be 20. It's going to differ depending on how, if you have a job where you get paid every 2 weeks or whatnot, you can still figure in how you. Well, anyway, you take that amount of days, divide it into what the bottom total of after everything is paid is. Whatever amount you get when you divide that number into what's left, live within that amount of money per day. So
Right.
if it's $18, $20, 23, whatever the case, try to live within that amount. Anything above that just carries over to the following day, and so on and so on and so on. So that's how I've been doing it, and it's a good method, and it does work.
I think it's amazing. And what I love about it is that it's an all year round kind of thing.
Hmm.
And a person can, for example, take even like a partial amount of whatever it is that someone might be saving in that manner that you just described. Like, let's say that person manages to save at the very least on a consistent basis money's about $100 a month. Someone could also decide to subdivide that, in my opinion, and take, let's say, $20 out of it or $25 out of it and put it in an envelope or wherever the person wants to put it, and maybe call it Christmas or birthday or sinking fund or something to that effect. What do you think about that?
You can do that. Um, Absolutely. If you have, whatever, because at the end of the month, whatever you have left, the choice is definitely yours. You can take the whole amount and set it aside and save it, or you can say, well, I have $100, I'm going to take 30 and put it over here in a sinking fund, and I'm going to make an effort to put 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, or however how much you want to do. I'm just using 30 as an example. And then if you want to create like a Christmas thing, another thing to factor in is also look at how many family members are in your family and who you have to purchase for. So that plays into about how much you would want to save.
Good
So
point there. A little bit of heads up, being a little more organized in your thoughts. I like that.
yeah, so you could, it's definitely a matter of what you think. If you have $100, you could take 50 and set it aside and have 50 over here, or 60, 40. It's really, it's really personal preference, personal choice, however you want to break it up. But bottom line, it's also a good way to save money and create an emergency fund, Christmas fund, um, money that you just want to put away. You have several options, what you can do with it.
What I love about your method, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of pressure. Like, I don't know, like certain methods, it just feels like a lot of pressure. Where in your case, it's like, okay, I'm going to spend what I have to spend. These are my numbers every month, whatever. Okay, there might be other things that have to come out of it. Months change, different needs change, whatever. Prices go up and all that. Sometimes you get a deal, prices go down, or you might get a little more money. What I like about your method is that it feels like there's less pressure in the saving part. How did do you feel the same way about that? Is it more of a relaxed way of saving?
It is a better way to save money because no, it's definitely not any type of pressure. It's not hard. Like I say, it's very simple to do.
Good.
I like I said, me being on a fixed income, after all, I look at all my bills. Now, I usually pay my bills about 3 to 4 days before they're due, usually.
Right.
So that works out for me. And I don't pay, I don't look at all my bills and say, okay, I've got one, two, three, four, these bills have to be paid. And I don't pay all four at once. I pay them according to when they're due. And I usually pay them, like I say, 3 to 4 days before the due date as it comes due. Like I might have one bill due on the 6th. Okay, pay it on the 3rd. Then I might have another bill due around the 15th, pay it around the 12th or the 13th. You know, and then there might be another one due the following week around the 22nd.
Uh-huh.
You just pay it around the 18th or the 19th. So you pay it as it comes due. Don't pay them all up front because then if you're on a fixed income, you risk possibly going broke.
That makes a ton of sense. Wow. That is a great way to look at it. You know something, Steve, reminded me of another point. Timing is everything. I mean, let's all raise our hands. What day of the year, what date of the year is Christmas? Everyone knows. I mean, very young people know, like babies know it's practically December 25th.
25th, yeah.
It's not moved. It hasn't changed since I was born. I'm going to be soon to be 64 with the help of goodness in December. December 25th, the date is not going to change. Here's where I'm baffled. We know the date is December 25th. We have like the whole year to prepare. And yet, and still, some people, I don't know what the reason, maybe they're just, some people actually really love last minute shopping. I get that there is a bit of excitement in the air. It's okay if you want to do last minute shopping. It's totally someone's prerogative. But what I can't understand is not being financially prepared for it. If this is a date that you celebrate, not everyone celebrates that date. I get that. And
Mhm.
but I'm talking specifically to the viewer or the listener that absolutely does celebrate December 25th. If one knows that, then why should one scratch their head on December 23rd and go, huh? That part I personally have a problem with. I don't get it because what's going to happen is they end up, guess what are they going to do? Yanking out the old plastic. And it's okay to yank out the plastic if you know that in January you could pay the bill. No problem there. But 9 out of 10, that same person that lives in oblivion to the holiday and is not really prepared, I bet, I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm just using my mind's eye. My mind's eye is deducing in my mind's eye that in all probability, that person is probably not prepared to pay the entire bill in January. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I just don't get not being prepared if one knows that December 25th is not going to change.
It's not. I mean, it's been that way ever since, I'm going to be 48 next month. It's been that way ever since I was old enough to remember. Christmas is on December 25th. Now, Thanksgiving being the third week of November on a Thursday, that day could fluctuate. It could be
Yes.
any day during that week. So,
Yes.
but Christmas, no, that's a fixed day.
Right. Now, another thing. Now, not the whole world, even if they do acknowledge the real meaning of the day, doesn't feel like they want to exchange, like physical presents, like going to the store, buying things you need to wrap and give. And there's absolutely nothing even wrong with that because the most important reason, we both know the most important reason is for the season. But the thing is, as far as those gift giving and saying, I'm not ready, I didn't have a chance. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little ahead of the game, but I start thinking about the following year. Guess when? New Year's Day. That's what I even still do to this minute. And I know it sounds silly to somebody that's just listening. And by the way, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Right here with me, I have Steve Young 74 from the Steve Young 74 channel. He has his own channel. He has a wonderful channel, and you get to see and hear recipes on Recipe Tuesday. He has other wonderful chat shows. I happen to be on at least once a week on his channel, and we all talk about some really good stuff. But getting back to this thing, there's plenty of time, Steve, throughout the whole year. I still do the dollar a day. And people are saying, what do you mean? I don't necessarily take a green dollar bill, but I know that, let's say in the beginning of the month, I'll take away $31 and put it in an envelope, and my dollar a day is paid for by the month. By doing that alone, if I don't choose to touch it, to use it for anything, if I choose to leave it in the envelope and let it accrue month in and month out, I can say, wow, this can be my birthday money. This can be my Christmas money, whatever. It's a matter of choices, such simplicity. I just don't understand it.
Well, people don't realize $1 a day, $7 a week, what, $30 a month times 12. On an average, that's about $360 it's saved free and clear.
Yeah, painlessly too, by the way.
hmm
If you whatever your source of income, we won't be here much longer. I do respect everyone's time, but Steve, if everyone could even, like, suppose you're at the grocery store and you could find a way to not spend like extra money on has to be specialty tomato. You could get a good looking tomato that works just fine and use that and end up saving $1 or whatever it is. I'm just using that as an example.
hmm
If there are ways we could sneak it in, at the beginning of the month, or I should say when a person gets their main income, that's the time that you right away pay yourself. Take that $31 out of your money immediately and put it away. Now, some people prefer to literally take $1 a day as we go by. That's fine too. There's totally nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. It's totally cool.
hmm
Steve, I want to thank you so much, but I do have a question for you. Is there anything you'd like to add to this?
Not really. I mean, of course, you mentioned plastic earlier in the segment. Nothing wrong with using plastic if you can make every effort possible, control how much you put on it. You can treat it like cash if you know how to work the system. It is a short term tool. And if you can pay it in full each month, you're doing yourself a favor because then it's no interest. So
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with a credit card. Just be careful how you use it because it can get you in trouble. That's pretty much it.
Well, Steve, as always, a pleasure and an honor to having you here for the
hmm
Sunday afternoon chat. But I do have a favor to ask of the folks, and I'll be right back. Steve and I want to wish you all an amazing, fantastic day. Thanks again, Steve. Take good care, everybody.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.